So in this video, we're going to go ahead and look at polishing up our weapon a bit. We're going to go ahead and walk through adding a muzzle flash that was created specifically for this game. After, I'm going to leave you with a challenge to actually create the functionality for how firing in this game is going to work. So let's go ahead and add a muzzle flash. Here we have our weapon, and the first thing we're going to want to do is drop down to your effects folder inside your game. Inside here we have a muzzle flash. What we can do is just drop the muzzle flash into the actual scene view, and you'll actually see it in real time as you bring it into your scene. And what we have here are just rapid fire of bullets with trails on them. So what I want you guys to do is let's go ahead and place the muzzle as a child of the weapon and go ahead and zero out the position here. 0, 0. And actually what I want you guys to do is I want to actually take the values that were with the prefab. So hit this revert button here. And that should... Okay, that did not take the values of the prefab, which I thought it would. Let me see here. Alright, what we want to do is we want to use these values for the prefab. So here's our position at -122. Take that. And then -0.56, we want to place that on the 8Y. And then for the Z, we want -1.918. So the reason why I want this to be identical to the prefab is because the prefab was designed specifically for this weapon with the rotation and everything. We may adjust it a bit, but here's what we're going to do. So right now what I want to do is position this, make sure it's at the tip of the gun where the muzzle flash is supposed to appear, which as you can see it pretty much is. And then all we have to do now is actually need to rotate this to make it not look like the bullets are shooting sideways. So rotating along the y-axis, we can set that to 0 and set the z to 0 as well. The only axis that matters is the x, and as you can see, if I change the x rotation, this is what's actually controlling the direction. So let's go ahead and have it aim at our crosshair there. And what we're going to have to do here is actually adjust our weapon. So if we look at our weapon here, let's go ahead and possibly rotate this along the y just a bit. Got to bring it out maybe a bit more. And then we can come back to the muzzle flash. And let's go ahead and rotate this. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and perfect this to a value that I think feels right, and I will update you guys. Okay, so I found the values that I'm happy with. I'm going to go ahead and share those with you so that if you'd like to mimic my setup, you're more than welcome to. On the weapon, I have my position set to 0.53, -1.35 on the Y, 3 on the Z, and then my rotation is 3.79 on the Y rotation, and then -90 on the Z rotation. Hopping into the actual weapon model, the position is -1.075, the Z is -2.4, and the Y is 0. Then you have here the rotation, 0 for X, 0 for Y, 90 for the Z rotation. On the muzzle flash, I have -1.222, -0.056 for the Y, -1.918 for the Z. And then for the rotation, I only have modified the X rotation to 2.25. So I'm pretty happy with this, and what you can do here is you can go ahead and actually play this, and you'll see pretty much whatever we're pointing at is getting bullets shot at it. So this is our visual representation of our weapon. Now this is an automatic rifle or sci-fi rifle, so currently our weapon works based on using a left mouse click. What I want you guys to do is have it to where when you hold the left mouse button down, you're firing, and every time you fire, you need to play this particle. So if I'm not firing, meaning that I'm not holding down the left mouse key, I need this particle to stop. So here's your first hint. Let's get the particle to stop. To do that, you have to look at the actual particle system. And on here, there's a property that says play on awake. And ideally, what we want to do is we need to basically just turn this game object off when you're not shooting. When you are shooting, there you go. So when you're holding down the fire button, turn it on. When you're holding down when you're not holding down the fire button, turn it off. That's your challenge. I'll see you in the challenge review.